How's it going, everyone? Hopefully you're doing well. Welcome back to another weak spot guide. Today we're going to be talking about the E3, and this has been promised for quite a while now. I think that this is probably the most broken tank in the game. More than the Chief, more than 279. I just think it's a stupid tank and it needs a nerf. Why does it need a nerf? Well, so I have the 430U. Obviously, because it uses a kind of standard, I would say, for tier 10 kind of ammo loadout, where it has 252 standard pen, which is kind of the very, very lowest almost of tier 10, like around that area. Most of them get between 240 and 250 and stuff like that. So this sets the middle ground. Now, when looking at the E3, as you can see, this entire lip here is unpennable with standard rounds. If you go a little bit lower, there are certain points where you just can't pen it. And you keep going lower, and there are certain points where you just can't pen it, where you will bounce. It is pathetic that a lower plate is so riddled with different points where it can pen and it can't pen. If you just simply go and shoot at an E3, let's try and get a spot where, as you can see, none of it's green. It should be green. Like, this pen marker should be green if you're aiming at a lower plate. It shouldn't ever be completely blue, or in this case, it would be red for non-colorblind. You should be able to pen it reliably every single time. And it's just not the case. Like, some points go up to 260 millimeters. Like, that's stupid. So if you do want to pen an E3 on a lower plate, I mean, I don't know. Like, you definitely don't go low, and you definitely don't go high. Because there's certain points you're just going to have to get lucky. Like, why? Why is this a thing? Even with heat rounds. Let's change to heat rounds. Even with heat rounds, you cannot pen this. As you can see, it's red, or blue in this case. And sure, you have green all in the middle here, but you go any lower and you just can't pen it, or it's a 50-50. Why is it like this? This is meant to be a weak spot on the tank, and it's just not. Everywhere else on the tank is stupidly well armoured. There are certain points that you can pen, like right here. But, as you can probably tell, it didn't do damage, because you have to hit a pixel to be able to actually go through. And it's not an easy pixel to go through. So although, yes, you can go through this tiny little area here. Wow, finally we got through. It is not a weak spot that you can reliably hit. And everywhere else on the tank, yes, there is another one right there. I believe what we're actually shooting, if you can have a look, is this little kind of dip here. And you can shoot kind of underneath that. As you can see, yeah, you can shoot kind of into that little dip and it goes through. But it's just not a reliable thing for you to hit, and you're not going to hit that at distance for definite. So even if you're up close, the lower plate is a 50-50 with standard rounds. You're never really going to hit that even up close. And if you're further away, who knows where your shell is actually going to go in the lower plate, because it could go anywhere and it will probably not pen, because if it goes a little bit high, it's definitely not going to pen, and if it goes a little bit low, it's definitely not going to pen. Now, the cupola on this thing, obviously, this is a weak spot. Nope. This is not a weak spot. That cupola right here, 320 millimeters thick, and that is for APCR and stuff like that. So even a Leo shooting APCR is not going to reliably go through this. You can go through, just underneath it or just to the side here, but yeah, good luck with that, because that's still 233 millimeters thick, and if you miss this tiny little pixel shot, you're not going to pen, because it will just go high and hit that. So the cupola is not a weak spot, even with heat. With heat, it's just not going to happen. Like, there is such little you can do against this tank if it is moving forwards, and if it has HP boost, modified config, it's not going to get tracked. it's just going to keep going. If it's got modified config, you're going to track this thing, and in 2 seconds it's going to repair its tracks and just keep going forwards. So this thing is the most broken tank in the game, in my opinion. Yeah. Let's move on to the E3 to see how you can kill an E3. Because it seems that that is the only other way that you can kill one of these things, besides obviously getting around the rear or the side, because then, yes, you can kill it. You go around the side, and pretty much all of it is green. With HE, you have a chance of penning it in the bum. You can just, 46 pen. So it is possible. And you can also pen the rear, but you need to be careful because you are going to need quite a bit of HE pen if you go higher up. And do not shoot the cupola from behind. It is 300 millimeters thick. I don't know why, but it is. So yeah, if you're going to pen one of these things in the arse, then very, very much so in the hull or superstructure at the back. That is how you deal with them. So, in the E3 against an E3, obviously not a lot you can do with standard rounds. Surprise, surprise. If you use premium rounds, then yes, the lower plate becomes pretty much green everywhere, to be quite honest. And the upper plate is also a little bit better. There are certain points where you can pen it, but let's be honest, don't go there. And yes, this is still a pennable spot. However, if you go and aim at the gun mantlet, there is a spot and it will annoy a lot of people. As you can see, yeah, you're not really going to pen this. However, if you go directly down from this little hole here, you hit a green pen marker. And this green pen marker is basically, well, it's quite big, as you can see. It's a pretty big pen zone, and you will go straight through it. From the right hand side as well, it does work the exact same way. You can go straight through the gun, basically either side. The top of the tank does work as well. What you basically want to do is hit the kind of inner ring, not really the outer ring, because the outer ring doesn't really work. And the top and the bottom are not as good as the side would be. So here you can obviously see the sides. Yep, they are pretty well, it's easy to pen it if you have enough pen. It will not work for heat rounds. I will tell you that right now. This only works for APCR, and you need high pen APCR. Because it's 305 millimeters of pen that you need, or 320 around that area, I would say that if you're going to try it with a Chief or Super Conk or something like that, it's probably not going to work. It's probably not worth it. You might as well just go for the lower plate if you're going to do that. And even with 375 millimeters of pen, it's still a 50-50 whether or not you go through the cupola. So, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It does all help me out greatly. And yeah, tell me what you think about the E3, because I think it is very broken. And also, thanks to RNG for, oh look, it's a 50-50 pen and it goes straight through every single time. Yeah, thanks RNG. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.